Hey guys, can you hear me? Hello, hello. Let me know if you could hear me. All right, very cool. All right. So, I am Kristi, and I am from Junk Journal Boss. It's a family-owned business and family-run. I run it with Ezra, who is in the chat right now. And today, we are going to embellish the. Hang on, let me turn that down. We're going to embellish. Hold on 1 second. All right. Okay, I was hearing myself. Okay, so anyway, what you're looking at right here is this is the project we did on Wednesday with our Watercolor Sea collection. And if you're interested in knowing what's inside of there, you can look at the box down below. And it's showing you all of the things that are involved in the collection. And so what you're looking at here is some of the ephemera and different papers that I used in different ways from this project. I'm sorry. Okay, but before we get into this, I want to go ahead and recognize my supporters from Patreon. I like to call them my Patreon posse, which is probably kind of silly, but anyways, I always have to name everything. So for our dragonflies, we've got April Harrell, Darla White, Dawn, Holly Spink, Jane Dunlap, Mary Reynolds, Melissa, Michelle Caldwell. So thank you all very much. Debbie Rask, Ellen Davis, Jenna Lynn, and Marla Kimmel are my butterflies. And my wildflowers are Amy Lynn Mellinson, Hippie Bee Kimmy, Janice Crane, Lee Brown, Linda Powell, MK, Nikki Proctor, Polly, Rhonda Howe, and Sasha. Thank you all for all of your support. It's really very much appreciated. Okay, so let me remove starting soon here, and then we can move on. All right. All right, Smart Size, do I know you? Cute name, by the way. So, all right, so in case you just got in here, I'm Kristi from Junk Journal Boss. It's like pajama day here, so, and Ezra's not feeling well, so we're all just kind of, we're just lucky we're here. And what you're looking at is a project that we're going to be working in. This is a Watercolor Sea hardcover and hard pages also, 3-ring book. And I built the whole thing on Wednesday. If you want to see that video, you can look in the description. And here's what the pages turned out like. And these are all in Watercolor Sea. Comes with lots and lots of different pages, and I have a bunch of pages that aren't done. But we're going to be working with that particular collection today, and yeah. And if you want to check it out, you can go to junkjournalboss.etsy.com and just you could just do a search for Watercolor Sea if it's not right there. So a lot of these were made with the Watercolor Sea paper, and I also grabbed a few other things that I had already had in my stash. So I'm working really hard on creating my stash heap so that I can just go, when I'm working on something, I could just grab, some things that are coordinating as far as picture or as far as colors go and stuff. And that way I don't have to make everything on the fly. So, for me, it's not very enjoyable to build a junk journal and then also have to build the embellishments directly after. And so that is the reason why I'm trying to fill my stash with various different things. And so I pulled these little envelopes out, and they match color wise. They're not the same style, but they do match quite nicely. And then these are 2 envelopes that I made on, I think it was Monday, and we were doing pockets. And hang on a second. Yeah, we were doing pockets, and we ended up doing pockets and envelopes, because really you could use envelopes as pockets. So there's that. Anyhow, that's what we make, and now this is what we're going to embellish. So that's all that stuff that I wanted to show. And then I wanted to also show you a bunch of ephemera that I'm going to use, and I'm going to pick it out right now, the pieces that I want to use. And so we've got like some Life's a Beach. That's really cute. Seize the Day. So I'll probably largely just use some of these bigger, I'm sorry, not bigger, littler, smaller pieces, because this is quite a small book. These pages measure 4 by 8, I believe. And really they're all made out of, I mean, you could make pages like this out of cereal box. So this is 4 1/4 by, so yeah, I was really off. 6 5/8. And basically they're just like pieces of cardboard that were taken off of the back of, I don't know, a tablet or something. You could use the cardboard from cereal boxes or anything really. These ones are thick enough. They're a little bit pliable, but they're thick enough that I don't need to double them up. So I'm not going to do that. But I'm just going to pick a few things that I can choose from, because some of this is just going to be too big. So let's see if these journal cards are too big. Hey, Desiree. Okay, so let's see. I can probably use that somewhere maybe. Some of these bigger tags could possibly be used. So I'll set those aside. And so there's just a whole ton of stuff in here. I guess, I don't know, I kind of went crazy with these. So, all right, let's put this stuff away. And now I'm just going to embellish using the Watercolor Sea collection, and also, just some other things. One thing I really like to do, and you guys have probably heard me say this a gajillion times, is I like to take reclaimed stuff and add them also to my journals, because not that I'm a big stickler on a junk journal can only have junk, because obviously, that's not what I think. But, I like to incorporate that. That's how junk journals started. And I like to have that feature in there. So let me share with you this. This is something I actually just was goofing around with and made. And let me see if I can pull you in close here. And it looks kind of like a big old mess, but what it really is, and I'll make this in front of you so that you guys can go away from this video with something. Basically, it's just paper, you know, and scrap ribbon. And these are probably the only things I bought, which were, you know, just little pearly sort of dots. And so you can do it with, like, you know, rhinestones if you want to, or whatever. But I'll show you how to make this, you know. One look that I really love is the whole, you know, the shredded muslin look, you know, so I incorporate that a lot. So, should we start with that? Why don't we? So, I had a bunch of scraps from the other day, and that's basically what I used for this. And, let's see. I got all different sizes, so this is what I did while I was playing Fortnite. I was just like cutting paper with a pair of these little scissors that have, yeah, these ones here. Those old Fisker paper edgers that we used to use. And now I'm just realizing right now that I did not make the Amazon list, but I will. I'll do that right after. And so let me start a little notepad so I don't forget things, because I do that all the time. Okay. So what I want to do is make Amazon list. And then what I'll do is I'll add it to this, the description for this video. Sorry for the armpit shot. It's hot over here. Okay, so this first one, I just took one of these. You probably want a long one, a long piece, and then you want a piece that is, you know, slightly wider. They don't have to be cut this way. I just didn't like the way the edges looked on this one without them cut. So you could see that I cut them that way, and it doesn't have to all be showing for it to be worth it. You know, it just gives a lot of like different, it looks like it has a lot going on. So yeah. If you're here for the first time and you've never seen any of my videos, pop that in the chat, or put a heart in the chat. If you have questions, pop those in the chat too, and I will get to those as I can. So I guess I could put that in there somewhere. All right, so the pieces I think I'm going to use is this one because it's really long, and then I think probably this one. Yeah, I guess that's about as long. Okay, how about this one? Because you don't need the two to be as long as each other, but the larger one is not going to be the base. It's going to be the smaller one. Okay. Hey, Darla. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so I need my glue. So the first thing, aside from unclogging my glue, that I do is unclog my glue some more and add a, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, so I basically just started right here. Oops, that's not the base. I just said that, didn't I? Go ahead and pull that glue off of there. Pretend this never happened. And then I will, oh, it's the same size. I wonder if that's okay. Yeah, I think so. I think it is. All right, so I am going to use a lot of paper clips in this because they're super handy. And so what I'm going to do is every time I glue, I'm just going to clip. And then I am going to pull this up And you can use something underneath it if you want to, just to, you know, give it like uniformity. This is a little too thick. Let's try this. And just sort of shape it, you know. And then, let me see. So I want to make a little bit of a fold so that I know where it's going to come down and also where I need to add glue. So let me know if I need to elaborate on anything here. But once I'm here and I've got one mountain, every single time I'm going to put a paper clip there. Now you may or may not need to use something like that. I don't always, but you know, when I don't, sometimes I end up with like a folded mountain, and I don't really want a fold in it. I actually want them to be really, really round. And so this glue is something else. All right. And then that's just, oh, these skinnier ones. That's just all I do, is just go all the way down with that. And then just keep moving as fast as my glue will allow it. And so what I'm doing is I'm putting something round, like around pencil sized, and I am taking my fingernails and kind of pulling the top one in, this one here, in, so that I get a nice mountain, see? And then when I'm getting ready to glue it, I don't have to fight with it. I do have to fight with my glue though. So there is that. At this time, I'm trying to put together a system for me to figure out how everyone can be notified with the least amount of action on my part. Because I just forget to do things, and once you guys start relying on me to like send you email and everything, you know, I promptly forget that I'm supposed to do that. So I'm trying to think of some easier ways to manage that. But how many of you guys got here because YouTube notified you? If you don't mind saying. This is really something. All right. Okay. There we go. Let's hope that lasts. I don't know, this glue is like super gummy around the, I just cleaned this out and it's really, so anyhow. And even if you're watching the replay, please let me know if you got here because YouTube told you when I was on live stream. Awesome. Well, thanks for being here, Darla. I really appreciate you. Okay. If you guys want notifications, because what I also have a notification that goes out on YouTube that lets you know that, hey, I'm going online, and I think that YouTube also does a notification for those of you that have notifications on. Yes, exactly, Ezra. If you go to the subscriber button and then change it to all, it will notify you. So if that's something that you'd like, I know some people are like, well, I didn't know you were on, you know, I didn't know you were doing that and stuff, and yeah, so that does happen. And if you don't want it to, just click on all in the little drop down menu on the subscribed button. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just shape these. Oh, let me shape you. There we go. And just kind of put this through. And really, it doesn't have to, you don't have to mess with it so much like I do, but I just kind of wanted them to look all uniform. And it's going to be covered up with stuff, so it's not really a big deal if it's not absolutely perfect. So right now, this is when I pull out my jar. And this is my jar full of scraps of fabric and paper and things like that. And so this is where I look first when I need something, you know, a little ribbon or something like that. And pull out all the pieces that I think would generally go well, and then I decide later whether to put it in or not. I mean, this is just like little foxes and stuff, but I think once it's all, once it's cut and tied and everything, it won't look so much like that. And so, yeah, this is what I do. Just look at all these scraps. I try not to throw away any scraps. Obviously, some do get thrown away, but you know, it's that trash to treasure thing, you know. And so I'm going to set this aside. And I'm going to start creating these little strips. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7. But anyway, I need something to fill all those. Some of these I don't tie a bow in because it's just too difficult. But I do just tie a knot and just let that be my bow. So, let's see, that's enough of that. Let's find these little strips. Try this. Amy? Did you get here by a notification from YouTube? Amy? Uh-oh. That's okay. You did. Okay. Great. I'm just kind of doing a impromptu poll about how people got here, because I'm kind of wondering if I'm doing overkill with, you know, all of the different things that I do to notify you guys. I mean, just my email list and stuff like that. I obviously need to. Oh well, I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, here we go. Oh, it is? Is that what's happening for you, Ezra? And everybody else? And was it just for a second or what? Okay. So I'm just going to go through and just simply tie little bows, as many as I can, and then I will arrange them the way I want. Okay, thank you. I don't know about you guys, but I have always loved muslin, to the point that I keep a roll of it all the time. And I don't mean just a little roll. I mean one of those kind that you have the person cut how many yards you want, that. So it's just really versatile, and it the edges shred really nicely and all that good stuff. Okay, a little bit. Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, different earbuds, you know, headphones, devices, they're all a little bit different. And so, believe me, I mean, we've tried lots of different things. I've tried a lot of different devices. And so Ezra looks at my stuff and is like, can we just simplify this? Because you got too much stuff. But I mean, I don't know, you know. I'm like thinking like things don't work and whatever. So Ezra's my fixer of those things. While I am doing this, I am going to run a little video right above the Watercolor Sea one, and I'll turn the Watercolor Sea one off, I think. Okay, this is kind of big, but these are past projects we've done in Patreon. And so I realize that I don't really show you guys what we do in Patreon very much. I talk about it, but talking about it is not near as nice as looking at the actual pictures and the projects. So this is kind of under construction, but I found enough pictures to show you guys. If you are new, if you're not part of the Patreon, and you know, go ahead and check it out if you want. You know, it's pretty fun. So that way you don't have to watch only my fingers tie these. This would be another thing for for Mass or Mega Make Monday, to just have strips of fabric and tie them into bows. That might be a cool thing for us to do. There we go. Okay, I think I'm almost done. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So I need 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I need probably 3 more of these. Just 2 more. I think I'll go the easy route. So this is a super good use of scraps, and if you make a bunch of them and just put them in a little box, you will always have these cute scrappy little guys, and you won't have to sit there and make them, right? All right, so you figure out who's pairing up with who. I like to put one muslin and one. Let's see, I've got 3. Okay, so these can also be bases. Maybe let those be bases also. And then we'll just choose you know, I'm going to glue all of these guys on first. Let me take my paper clips off. This should be like really nicely adhering to the other page now. And it's kind of stiff, this whole thing. These particular items that we're making right now, this one that I'm making, is really cool for a spine of a junk journal. If you like, you know, sewed your signatures in or something like that, you would be able to use it as a spine, as a cover of those, you know, on the spine. I've never seen a glue get as gummy as this one does. It's really strange. I don't know if it's just that it's hot near our house, or yeah, I think Darla lives in a hot place, but then again, you use a different glue than this, huh? Alright, so I'm just going to go through and put some glue on a couple of these, maybe all of them, I don't know, if my glue will allow it. Oh my goodness, look at that. So because I am weird like this, I need these to, I need them to alternate, even in styles. So this one's just a knot, this one's a bow, and then the next muslin one will be a bow. And all of these ones I think are knots, so. And then I could take one of these, this one down here. All right. I like to put two little bows together, but if you'd want to put like buttons or something, that would work out well. I'm going to glue these right on top of there in, you know, alternating type colors. These ones will alternate, and then maybe these ones could go on the pink ones. Suppose that's fine. This one down here. And just kind of, so I mean, for this one, I don't really know that I will add all of these little the little jewels. Should I? I'm going to add this down here. And this, so this one's not necessarily going to have to only be used for beach, but I'm going to use it in here. But there's just, when you do this, there's just a lot of like texture going on and interesting things happening with all of this, and you can't really tell, you know, which part of it is, you know, which part of it is making it cute. It's just all of the parts. I think maybe I will do this, but I won't use, I was thinking really seriously about using rhinestones, but I'm not sure how rhinestones, you know, let me turn this off. I'm not sure how rhinestones are going to, I don't know. I mean, they'd look great, I think, but for this particular journal, I'm not sure. So. But I think this time I'll use pink. I also have this option. Not this purple one, but I don't think I'll use blue because I used that last time. So, and I think that the pink is actually going to look the best. If you guys have any objections to that, speak now or forever hold your peace. So these are just something I got from Dollar Tree, you know. They're kind of cool. All of these are in strings, you know, they're all attached. And so what I'm going to do is just cut a strip. And if you want to, you could take every one of them apart. But I'm just going to do 3 at a time and see how that is going to look. Yeah, I think they'll fit just fine. Uh-oh, how did that one come off? All by its lonesome. Well, these ones did come off that way. I wonder if I cut it the wrong way. Yeah, I did. Next time I'll cut it the other way because I don't really want to be doing these like this. Let's see if I can do something aside from that. My fingers, I'm not seeing anything, so I'm just going to chill and do this. Let me see. Okay, yeah, they're going this way, so let me. so much easier when it's all connected. Keep doing this. So there we have it. Super scrappy little and so it would look cute, like, let's say, pretend this matched, but it would look really cute like this, you know, on a junk journal spine, especially if you want to cover up the strings or something like that. You could do it that way, or do it for that reason. You can make them longer or whatever. So let's start embellishing the book, though. So on this first page here, this one has lines, so I don't really want to put anything there. And sometimes when I make stuff like this, I make it as page edges. Oh, let me refocus here, sorry. I'll use them as page edges, so that way when I close it, you can see all of these different ribbons coming out of the side, and then when you look at it from this direction, you got a lot of texture here. So yeah, I really like doing that. So I think that's what I'll probably do. I mean, and it isn't really it wouldn't be really a bad thing for me to put it on the first page, just because, you know, pretty cool. But let me see what it's going to look like on the back of this page, and if we're going to see a bunch of, okay, yeah, I see. You can actually see a little bit, but that doesn't really matter because it's that scalloped edge, and I think that actually looks pretty cool. So let's go ahead and add some glue on this. Making sure I get my scalloped edge kind of sticking out. I'm just going to position it. And why not put a couple of clips? And so that's going to look really cool on the side there. So now I have, this is an envelope made out of, like, I believe it's like a half sheet of paper, and we made these in Mega Make Mondays, And I love these. I especially love these made out of like book page. But I also love this one because it has like the really cool design. And I'm adding this here because I want to differentiate between, you know, between the different pockets, because with book pages you can definitely identify where the pockets are. It looks like you kind of will here too, but and so all of this stuff, like with the different, those different embellishments and stuff, any way that you embellish, you can always use your scraps for that. And it's really actually pretty cool. Comes out pretty cool. Oops. So I've also got, I do need one more piece of that. I think I'm going to have to dip in this other stash for that. Thank you, Darla. I think I'm going to take this one off and put like a longer piece because it was kind of not. I feel like I'm all tangled up here. Okay. I feel like it needs to go a little over the edge to look good. So I'll let those dry. While that's drying, I will look through the stash and see what things I can put on the outside of this. And you could tell that I have a whole bunch of things that I can do that I could put inside. And so that's cool. But I'm looking for stuff. Excuse me, something like this that will fit right here. I don't want to say that there's such a thing as too much ephemera, but I feel like I have a lot here. And so that can be there. Maybe it might benefit from a scalloped edge. That might be cute. So, did anybody else get these scissors, like when they were doing their scrapbooking and stuff? I had all of them, and then I got rid of all of them, and then just found like a few pairs in a thrift store. And I was like, oh, I want those again. Oh, sorry about that, Jackie. I don't really know why it's that way. Yeah. Okay, hurry up with this, Kristi. looks kind of cute with that little change. So I'm going to add, because I got glue all over the place, I am going to pull it a little bit away from the edges and put it closer to the edges in other places. Give these a little trim. If you're new here and you want to know what we're doing or where I got this book from, this is something that I made on Wednesday, on the Wednesday live stream, and you can see the video of how I made this over there. And I believe the link is in the description. So I'm going to try a couple little things and see what I like. I almost kind of feel like if I have a really small shell, I may want to add it, but let's just set that there for a minute, okay? And see how we feel about it. Here's another option. I don't know. What do you guys think? All right, so a lot of these are going to fit into these pockets. And so I'm going to pick a few. Oops. Okay, so this one needs something thinner, it looks like. So I can put that, and I really don't need to have it this long, so I can go ahead and just clip it. And so what I'm going to do is embellish so a couple things that you could do is maybe just use one of these and just glue it on. Oops, I don't want to cut that lady's head off. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to do that. So, all right, I'm going to hurry up, okay, guys? Because, so I can do it this way with some of the ephemera, or I can get some matching ribbon. I think I like this one a little bit better. Put ribbon on here. And I'm not a big fan of poking holes into these. I actually really kind of like just stapling them. You know, but you do you, and do that if you want. I just like to do it that way, and if I hate the way the staple looks, then I'll just grab something and perhaps that one maybe. But how about this? And that covers it up. I don't always feel like I have to, but sometimes I just want to. This one's going to fit in here. This one will fit back here, but I want to do something with it. I wonder what that would be like if I put a shell on the back or on the front of it, and the shell was sticking out. I don't know how I don't know what I think about that. Let's see. I mean, that's cute, but it just seems so big. Just too big. All right. I'm going to go a different direction, I think. If I can. Okay, those don't fit very well. So I could do, and you know what? Got a piece of muslin I can knot right here. Well, I'm glad you're here, Jackie. Awesome. So you're an email person. You got here through email. That's great. Yeah, I do send them out like 5 minutes earlier than the stream starts. And there's always replays on these. So, you know, if you didn't get here in time or whatever, you know, it's really not a big deal. You can always go back and watch it. Trying to figure out how I like this. I think I like it this way. So and I'll just leave it like that. So I have this little thing that looks like a knot right here because I wanted this part to be the bottom. So I may come back later and put something over that if I find, you know, the right thing. But other than that, I'm going to go ahead and leave that, and then just trying to see what works here. And so embellishing a junk journal is really just, you know, trying to figure out, you know, what you like and what looks good to you. And I think I'm going to go with this. Probably, do you mean like a long time ago, the 3-day classes, Jackie? Because I used to do like 3-day classes on all kinds of different topics, different crafting topics and stuff. They're really fun. All right, I think this looks really cute, guys. And so it looks kind of, you know, all full of stuff like a junk journal embellishment should. So I think I'll add this guy here. If you don't want to, like say you don't want to glue yours on, it's actually a cool size to put into a larger pocket, like in a larger journal, but this one's just small, so there's that. Yeah. Thank you, Darla. I appreciate that so much. And I am more than happy to do these things. All right, so let's see what else we can do. Let's do this little envelope. It was probably for handmade gifts, Jackie. Because I think I started this a year ago. Maybe earlier, I don't know. Maybe it was longer than that. Or maybe you saw me at a summit or something, or just got my name there or whatever. Okay, so I love making little envelopes. I just think they're so cute. All right. So I'm going to put a teeny little dot here, and then a little bit here, a little bit there. Some of this is kind of coming out, so there's that. And so a little teeny envelope is super cute, just to like put little stuff like this in. If you wanted to, you could put a little bit of color inside of here if you want. This is kind of a lot of color, which is not what I intended, but whatever, it's fine. Might as well do the rest a little bit too, right? And so everything doesn't have to be, all the edges don't have to be inked on every single thing. You know, there still can be cohesion. Sorry if that made a noise. Oh, aw, appreciate that. You know, we've been together for a long time, me and Darla. So I'm going to put a bunch of little things inside of here. Believe me, you guys help me keep my sanity too, honest. Okay, so I got a bunch of little things here, and like, it's cute if you want to glue it on the page just like this with all the stuff hanging out, or you can close it and put a closure on it. But if I were going to put a closure on this, and this is probably way too thick, I would probably use a magnet. And I did get these itsy bitsy little magnets, but they're 2 millimeters wide, and that will add a lot of bulk. So I don't really want to do that, but yeah, you can always do that. This one I'll just maybe pop into here, and that will be really cute. Okay, I'm going to move this whole unit over here so that you guys are able to see more of what I am doing. Okay. Not sure what to do with this page because I really love the design. Maybe I can put something in here. Oh, I didn't turn my ringer off. Ezra told me I'm supposed to turn my ringer off. So, doing it now. Goodness. All right, everything off. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Let me ink the edge a little bit on this. And I think I am going to actually use some of that raised tape, and I always forget what it's called. I just looked it up again today, and it flew out of my mind. Okay. Well, these must be a little bit old. So you can see that the tape is thick and raised off of that. You can get this stuff really cheap over at Dollar Tree. I'm gonna say that I got these at Dollar Tree, so maybe they are not, you know, shelf stable for as long as I think they are, because I probably bought these like, you know, a few years ago or whatever. But we'll see. But I think that looks really cute to have it raised up off of there like that. And ooh, I have an idea. Maybe this is going to be a really dumb idea, but I'm going to try it. Let's see if this will work the way that I think it will. Well, actually, awesome, I got a pet hair in there. It's what happens when you got pets. It's really bothersome. All right, I'm gonna figure it out later. But this is kind of resembles, you know, bubbles, but I didn't really put it, there was nowhere the bubbles to come from, or for the there was nowhere for the bubbles to come from, so I just put them in a line. And I gotta say, guys, this is really bothering me. I'm usually pretty good about not making a big deal out of things, but that one, I don't know. A weird thing about hairs. Right, so that I think is probably good enough, but I could, if I wanted to, you know, put like 3 more over here, and I think that would be cool, just to sort of balance it out a little bit. Oh, and I've got 3 right here. Perfect. So that one will be one of the more plain pages, but with some raised elements on there. I could put something else here. I mean, maybe it's just going to be, you know, some pink or something. Let's see how that goes. Please don't have a hair under it this time. No, no, no. Not crooked. All right, so, you know, it brings a little bit of cohesion to it, and that's really good enough. If I wanted to put another little one of these, I could put it here. I don't know. I haven't decided, and when I don't decide, I know better than to just keep sticking stuff on there. Okay, so these are going to be some pages that I'll write on. So, you know, maybe adding some little headers here. And this one does, I think I can cut this down some to make it similar, and then I can put that one over here. One of them says vitamin C, which is really cute, and the other one, live in bliss, because it is quite blissful at the beach. Unless you have like super light-skinned kids that get burned. One of my kids used to get burned like every summer when we went to do stuff, and it was tough on her. The color I'm using for this is called Salty Ocean. And it is a Ranger ink, distress ink. Here, I'll put it over here. And I'll make sure to add that to the Amazon list so that you guys can go there and just, you know, if you want a no-brainer way of getting some of the stuff that I use, you can do that over there. And it is going to be an affiliate. I will make a little bit, really with Amazon, it's a few cents, you know, per product. But it does help people, you know, to know what to get, and you know, provides a little bit of convenience, so that's why I do that. Oh wow. Well, I mean, overcast days, yes, I understand that. I can remember burning on an overcast day in San Diego when I was a little kid. I'd like to see that, Darla. Do you have my bunny pattern? It's really cute for like an Easter gift. All right, so there's just 2 of these, and I think I probably want to add, you know, something. But let's just say these are going to be writing pages, and so then we've got these pages, and all of these pages are actually bifold pages, but I just cut them down. And so this is actually kind of big. This is, it can be used in so many ways, you know. I'm going to probably use it like a little door, you know. Okay, so bifold pages are, I'll show you what they look like. I'm sorry I keep doing that, gosh. I need to get that overhead mic pretty quick, we need to do that. So bifold pages are these, and they just face each other, and you could basically just fold these in half, right? And you would have 2 facing pages. You can also cut them, you know. If you want to, just cut elements out of them, but this is if you want to actually have writing or drawing or pages to put notes on or whatever, and they make a signature. So they have like pretty designs surrounding them, but that doesn't all have to be used. And as a matter of fact, I used the edges that I cut from there to make those, these. So, the base of it actually, I don't know if that makes sense, but looking at it as is, but anyway, so these can be used a few ways. But I think I'm going to maybe use that on the next page. Maybe not. I don't know. But what you can do with these is you can just glue them on here like this. You maybe put a photo or something and then just close this over it. If you want, you could put a little magnet, you know, to keep it closed or whatever. You do lots and lots of different little things. Okay, so one of the things that happened the other day when I printed these out is because I print on a laser printer, I get these little margins here. And, you know, I don't love them, but sometimes I'll just actually utilize them. And this was just a single-sided print. I really prefer double-sided because it looks so much nicer because there's not all this white. But I'll show you what I do if I just have a single-sided page and I make a little pocket out of it. So, inking the edges. It's kind of, oh, I did glue that one. Oops. So when it's all together, it's obviously more difficult to ink the edges the way you want to, but if you know you're going to make like one of these fold-up pockets, then all you need to do is just go ahead and just ink the edges before you even do any of the folding. So sometimes it's good enough just to you know, put a little ink. Other times the white just looks too white, you know. It's very like distracting to the envelope itself. So I tend to like to do stuff like use metallic pens, and they're really fun to just there is some metallic in here, just so you know. Not sure if it's on any of these pages, but no, I don't see it. But there are like little metallic elements, so you can bring in whatever, you know, maybe some color that's kind of scarce, you know, on the page or in the book, and just bring in some of that. This is not one of my favorite metallic pens, but there are some that have like super sparkle, you know, which I like. Getting a little bit weird here. Dare I open the glitter? I think this one looks really nice with that set.
What you got now?
Oh, I'm doing a live stream right now.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm almost done in like 35 minutes. Sorry about that, guys. So, I think what I am going to do, that's my husband checking on me. He's a good guy. put a couple little dots of glue on here because I don't really love this. This pen's not metallic enough for me, or this, yeah, this pen. So. I'm just going to do it a different way. So let that sit for a minute. Oh, I think I want to do it there too, so why not? Just go ahead and start putting the glue. Here's to hoping this looks good, guys. I think this is really, really cute. I think the glitter added something to it that is very cute. What do you guys think? And I think it's enough, you know? It doesn't have to be super, doesn't have to be super fancy. Clearly I didn't make enough pages here. Clearly I need 17 more pages, right? Because I cannot cover these little guys up. So I think it's going to go here, and I'll tell you why. Because I ended up affixing this upside down, and so here's how I can do it. I can put it, I can actually cover it like that. And then when this is closed, which I'm not going to do right now because I'll just mess this whole thing up, but what will happen is these two things will stick up out of there, which will give it more, a little more texture. So anyway, I could do that, or I could really just do something like that, but that's just really plain. So, so I have an idea. So maybe I'll take a few of, or one of these pages. These are all just some of the pages from the Watercolor Sea. I think this is a different color than that, but I'm not sure. Maybe not. Anyway, these all come in the Watercolor Sea, and they're really great for just covering pages, you know. I'm gonna want to look at which one will this look good over, and I think it's probably gonna be this one, or one of the Hey there, glad you're here. Just enjoying stuff. Hang out and just enjoy the stream. Right now I'm embellishing a junk journal that I built on Wednesday. If you're interested in seeing how I built this, you can let me know. And, well, actually the video is linked down in the description, so you don't have to let me know. You don't have to talk to me if you don't want to. It's not a problem. So I think I don't really want to do it that way. So basically I'll just glue this on here like this. I'll do it with, oh, thank you. I really like how it came out. I ended up adding a little bit of glitter to it because it just was looking too plain. But there's ways, you know, like if some people might only be able to to print single-sided, or it just may be too like technical with them and their printer or whatever, you know. I mean, sometimes people just don't want to do that. So I just showed how you could take a single-sided piece of paper and just dress it up a little bit more to see. This is what it would have looked like, but this is what it looks like on the front, with just a little bit of glitter and ink and things like that. Alright, so this is awful right here. Where is my big spatula? Even with glue stick, you know, this kind of paper, it's actually the thinnest paper that I've got, which is probably 20 pound, I think. You know, you gotta smooth the wrinkles out. Sorry. We are doing that this week or sometime real soon, Ezra, getting a new mic and setting that up. Because I keep elbowing mine. So I have a choice. I can fold it over and then cover this side, but I think what I'll do instead is just trim it, because it's not going to make much of a difference, and I can always ink the edges of these pages. So you guys who are new to me, my name's Kristi, and Junk Journal Boss is our family-owned, family-run business that we're trying to get off the ground, you know, a little better than it is. And so, you know, we do live streams, and twice a week we do live streams. Ezra, maybe you can post the schedule, because sometimes it's hard for me to do two things at the same time. Sadly, talking and inking is sometimes a problem. But yeah, I'm here Wednesdays from 11 to 1, Fridays from 5 to 7, and then I also do a live stream in my Patreon group where we make, they're called Mega Make Mondays, and I teach a project that can be mass made, so that, you know, anybody doing it could actually, you know, fill up their stash very quickly. Thank you, babe. All right. Ezra's my son, so that's why I called him babe. Please don't be offended, anybody. Just going through and poking those holes again, and then I want to perhaps cover the other side, but this is basically what it's going to be, and then everything is going to be stuffed in there, all the rest of the ephemera and all that. So I'm going to try to do as many pages as I can. See what things look like on here. Let's see what looks right on here. So these little guys can be used as pockets. I just don't know what I want to do with that. I don't know, maybe I don't even want to use it. I don't know. very sure. Yeah, my brain kicked in right at that time that I asked you to post those. Yeah. So guys, if you're liking this project, if you're liking what I'm doing, I really would appreciate if you would give this video a like if you're in the position to do so, because it helps YouTube, show our videos to other people who might want to see it, who might want to find it the way that you did. Or some of you anyhow. So, yeah. And if you would like to be notified whenever I go live, I don't generally do like impromptu lives, but I'm pretty well regimented about it. But just subscribe, and then the drop down menu will give you the opportunity to follow all of my posts, including live streams. And that would be, if you clicked on all, that would probably be your best bet in seeing when seeing when I'm online, But if you are more of a scheduler person, Ezra just put in the chat what my hours are. And so you can put them on your calendar. And then just come here and craft with me. Or watch. Or whatever. Also, I don't think I mentioned this, but there's a coupon code for $5 off the Watercolor Sea set in the Etsy shop, and the link is there. Also, for that, don't forget to use the coupon code. You get 95 pieces of paper, ephemera, and everything. So let's put this guy here. I'm probably only going to have time to embellish these 2 pages, but now you've seen how I covered the pages too. And now this is probably dry enough that I can So I don't know about this idea sticking up. Let me see what it looks like. Let's just do a little experiment. So it would be like that up on the page. Sometimes these rings can get a little fussy. But then you see how this sticks out, at the top, and it really kind of lends an extra piece of interest to it, So I think I am going to do that. Awesome. Thanks, Jackie. Aw, thanks. Yeah, this is such a fun, craft, and once you start looking at or seeing how they're made and stuff, you're gonna look at your trash and be like, oh, and then watch out, because you may be saving everything that is that looks the least bit interesting. Oh, I put glue on the back of that. How could you? Anyways, I guess I'll just do this. But anyway, excuse me. Anyway, yeah, it's all really fun to do, and you can do this with any paper that you have. You do not need this, but if you would like to have it, again, you can get it in the link, through the link in the, excuse me, I'm gonna have to go off the camera for just a moment because my eye is burning. You know, but you could use any kind of paper that you want. I don't want to give the impression that you have to buy something from me to do the projects. But I do, we do want to make it available in case you just don't want to do the thinking, right? I know when I first started doing this, I was just like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this unless, you know, I follow somebody's instructions and do it a few times before I can actually, you know, put my own paper to it and choose those things. And that's, I guess, just how I learn. So we do make those sets. Yeah, I love the corners on it. I think these corners are so cool, especially for these kinds of journal. It just makes it look fancy. I do like that. Okay, so now I'm going to just start putting some things in here. It's okay if they stick out the top. If you hate it, put your different pieces of ephemera in, or, you know, just don't put the tall ones. Everybody likes their junk journals a little bit differently, or to look a little bit different, and that's all good. So basically what I'm doing now is, because I'm coming to the end of the stream, I'm starting to just put the ephemera that fits in here. Oh, this one would look really cool. Would have looked really cool on that page. But anyway, everything that can fit, because I'm going to come back to this, and not necessarily like right away either. You know, I may come back to this in a couple of months and go, oh yeah, you know, this would look really good here, or I might find things that would look good in this particular journal. And so I have a whole bunch of journals behind me right now. I don't know that you guys can see them if I turn on the camera. No, you can't. I'll tilt it up a little, but there's a shelf back there, like right here, that's full of junk journals that I've made in the past, and I have like big boxes of journals, you know, that I've made on live streams and, you know, for different reasons and stuff. And yeah, I don't really know what to do with them all. I've thought from time to time, you know, just, you know, finish them up, make them look nice and sell them. But, you know, I haven't done that yet, so my ADHD brain doesn't really let me do every single idea that I want to do, and I have lots of them. So these kind of things here, you know, they're tags, but you also could use them as like little doors and stuff, little hidey places, you could glue, like say for this one, you know, you could glue this edge down. I don't know if I would glue it. Oh yeah, you could glue all of these edges down actually, and just put something inside, you know. And that'd be a hiding place. This is a little signature that I made a long time ago, and it was in my stash. It was just made out of scraps of paper. And if you had this journal, you could maybe put photos in it, you know, things to remember. Let's see. Let me see if I could do this last. I don't really like it like that. Okay, so I am going to do this. So if you weren't here before when I mentioned, I will do an Amazon list in my Amazon shop store, and you will be able to go there and just see all, you know, the stuff that I have used and be able to look at it. I do try to note on there if you can get it cheaper somewhere else, do that, because it can get really expensive, you know. But really, what I really like to do is just like stuff I find, you know, like this stuff, like this tape I think we've had in a drawer for a long time. It's mounting tape. I don't know if we ever used it to put anything on the wall or anything, but it was there, and so I grabbed it. So I'm going to do this. I am going to add this here, and I'll show you how to put a magnet. I do think I have a little bit of time. A magnet closure, okay? And so I have a few different sizes. What I'd recommend for this size would be a, I think these are 12s. I sometimes use a 10 by 1 millimeter. These ones I think I'm going to like a little bit more because there's a little more surface area to stick to, and I think that would work out really well for a closure for something like this. So I'll go ahead and glue. It's a super easy way to make a closure. The magnets can run a little expensive, but you don't use them every time, you know? You just use them sometimes. And so when you get your magnets, you want to take these apart, and you want the attracting parts to be facing each other, you know. So I have to check this every once in a while. Like, am I putting these in the right place? So really this would be something like this would go here, and then it would attract on that side. This one would get glued under here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now, and I'll show you an easy way to do it. So I have them both together. I'm going to take them apart, and I'm going to put that one down, and I'm going to glue on the repel side, and I know that it's this side. Watch me be wrong. I'm going to put that about here. So for safety, I'll do that. Not safety, but just, you know, so I don't waste the thing. And then I can hold this under here and see, kind of move it around and see where I want that to be. So I could do it that way. Oops, come on back. They just really want to stick. Or I can, this way might be a little bit easier. That rather than putting it on the inside, you could just put it here on the outside. And wow, look at that. And this is easier because all you have to do is just put the glue on and just let it sit for like a day, you know? Because if you try to open it up now, you're gonna get glue everywhere and stuff. So once that's done though, you can use something like this, you know. I could have put the magnet here and then covered it with this. That works too. What'll probably happen is I will cover the inside of this here and I'll cover the magnet on the other side. But I do want to add something like this because I think I made a smudge there and I don't like it. So I don't know. Maybe just this circle one. Or wait, I found another circle. Bigger one or smaller one, you guys? Here's the small one. And here's the big one. I know which one I like better, but I want to hear what you guys have to say. Small? Me too, Jackie. Okay, so I've got this one here. So what I'm going to do is, maybe I'll do it this way, all right? This is kind of another way that's a little bit easier to do, and it hides it better. All right. Oops, release. And then I'm just going to glue it down on all sides, you know. And then it's going to be also having glue on it. Oh well. And so this one, okay, so that one's hidden in there, right? And this one will be hidden under another one. Or just maybe a little square, or I don't know. I'm looking at my ephemera. Oh, this could happen. You know. Let me see if I've got anything else that would fit underneath that. Yeah, this would. So then you just put glue around. Pop that onto there. It's a little off center. Scoot it a little bit. See if I've got it. So that's basically, you know, under there. You could use smaller things, you know, but that was just a quick, this is how you do that, right? And then if you have like, if you make messes like I do with your magnets, you just grab a piece of ephemera and just kind of add that on here. So you always can make it look a little bit neater and that, but just realize that, you know, the more layers it has to attract through, you know, the other magnet, then the more the less it's going to close. And what else will happen is, well, not what else will happen, but this is the reason why I say getting the 1 millimeter by 12 millimeter magnets is probably a little bit better, because it's going to make it, you know, give it that much more surface area. So now that you've seen my munched up magnet, that's probably all I've got today. I may end up doing this. I think I will, because now, that's really tacky, because now I've got some other things. But do you see how easy it is to just sort of, you know, repair things and hide things? And so you don't need to be shy about trying stuff, because, you know, either it's going to work or it's not going to work, and that's going to depend on if you like it, you know, not necessarily if somebody else likes it, unless you're making a gift or whatever. So I'm going to sign off, but first I want to thank you all so much for being here. I'm really excited that we had some new people, and I hope to see you guys again. And don't forget to go check out the video for making this journal. And yeah, check that out. I think you'll really like it. And then come back to this one again and see, you know, some of the little things that we made. We made this, and some of the other pockets that we made in Make Monday. So yeah, anyway, we do a lot of this stuff. It's kind of a cycle every week now. We're trying to get it, you know, to be a cycle every week, where I'm, you know, having like a basic, you know, structure, you know, to it. So anyway, you'll see what I mean as you watch week after week. I just want to thank you for being here. Thank you to all my patrons who are supporting me so that I can come on here and do this kind of fun stuff. And I really appreciate everybody. If you would like to be part of my Patreon and the Mega Make Mondays, you can join Patreon. You can join free, but if you want to be part of the Mega Make Mondays, you need to join one of the tiers. But the perk to that is that you get a fresh project that I create every month, and you get the instructions, and depending on what tier you are, you know, you'll get a video and stuff too. And so that's actually going to be September's. I've been building that one for a long time. But anyway, so that's what I have for you today. It's 7. I'll see you guys either at Mega Make Mondays at 4 on Monday, or at 11 on Wednesday next week. Maybe I'll have my hair done that day. I don't know. Anyways, thanks a lot, you guys. Go check out the Watercolor Sea and grab the coupon code in the description, okay? And grab that, and I would love to see what you make with it. And we'll see you later. Bye.